Hello friends, Chinese Garbage Man here. The object of today's video is to show you various different tiers of cheap, mainly Chinese watch you can get. I say this and I show these watches and I own many of them precisely for the reason that they are the best value you can get for your money. If you buy a Swiss or a Japanese or a German watch, you might get something with more, as the watch enthusiasts say, heritage. But heritage doesn't really mean anything. It's just bragging points. It's extra money you could have used to buy a car or a house or on your family, etc. So if you want to get a nice watch for the least amount of money, you should opt for the cheaper options. So I'm gonna show you various different tiers of Chinese watch. So at tier 1, you have Skmei. It's a very interesting brand in that it's not really a brand. It's basically a Casio knockoff, really. This one is the model number 1328. It's in yellow gold, and it basically has the same functionality as the Casio equivalent. It's no worse and it's no better. But this thing costs like 1/5 of the amount that the Casio costs. This costs only 8 euro. I paid 8 euros for this one. So, and it's a great watch. You can wear it. It has the classic Casio 80s look to it. It has illumination, but it's bright here, so you can't really see it good. Has alarm function, date, day of the week, etc., etc. You can have a chronometer here. It runs accurate, it's quartz, and it costs just 8 euros. So I put this in tier at the lowest tier of pricing, because I would not buy a watch much cheaper than, let's say, 5 euros. And this brand, Skmei, they make these digital Casio kind of knockoff watches. But I think they're very good value for what you get. And if you need to buy a watch for, say, your little brother, etc., who you don't want to buy him anything expensive, this is a nice piece. I wear it myself. I like it. Now, tier 2 isn't really a Chinese watch. It's priced like a Chinese watch, but it's not. It's an Indian Franken watch. This here is my Citizen Eagle 7 in 32mm. It's a very small watch. It's a vintage piece. It doesn't seem to be running right now, but I can assure you it's fine. It works. It's able to be set, etc. And it's a mechanical piece, So I think you can hear the rotor inside. If you has the acrylic plastic crystal that's prone to scratching, and it probably was redialed by an Indian man and like painted, etc. But it runs. I can set the date, etc. And this one only cost me 12 euros. Back in the day, you can't buy these for 12 euros anymore. You have to pay at least 20 now. But this is really a lineup of Chinese watches, so I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this Citizen. But it's really an Indian Japanese watch masquerading as a Chinese one, but it is priced similarly. So next up, you have various quartz pieces that have a very weird look. This here is a Onola Royal Oak homage watch that's like carved looking, but it's not really carved. It's manufactured this way. It's a very nice piece, as you can see. It's a real eye catcher, And you have and you can have ones with more complicated dials, with various sub dials, etc. But this one is just a basic quartz piece. I don't have it set correctly because I'm not wearing it because of quarantine. But as you can see, the dial is absolutely amazing, eye-catching. It's a real conversation starter. The original Royal Oak costs like, I don't know, I don't even want to check. It's like 20k, 40k, etc. This looks exactly the same and keeps accurate quartz time for just 15 euros. You can get a rose gold colored or a yellow gold colored variant for the same amount. It's insane. It's insane the value you can get. Now it does have some drawbacks, and but it's a nice piece. It has a very small crown, which doesn't look that good. The hands are kind of small, and it's not really very legible. It has no lume, etc. But it's a very eye-catching watch, and it's much cheaper than the fashion watches you can buy, like the Western brands of fashion watches, Armani, etc. This is much better, really, and it costs only 15 euros. And it's running fine. I own it for a while. Now, the next year, I'm gonna move mainly into mechanical Chinese pieces. So, lowest tier here, the cheapest you can get mechanical piece, is the Star King automatic. It only cost me 19 euros. But the amazing part about it is that it has a high beat movement. As you can see, the sweep on that hour hand is very, very smooth. I love the minimalist dial. I love the blue seconds hand. It's just a great piece overall. It's been covered on YouTube extensively, but I bought it last year. I don't know. I didn't see the videos, but really, it's cheap. It's basically very cheaply made, but you do get like a leather band, etc. It's for 19 euros. You can wear this, enjoy it. I don't know. It's nice. It comes in 40. I think it's 40 millimeters. So it's a standard size nowadays. It has I don't know what kind of movement. I'll show you a picture of the movement. I had the watch back opened, so you can see what it looks like. But for 19 euros, you get the 20. For example, if you want to buy a Swiss watch, you'll be paying like 100 times the amount for the same thing, basically, to have that smooth smooth second hand sweep. So I'll put a picture of the open movement right here. It basically is not very aesthetic. It's encased in plastic. It has a plastic holder in there, but you don't really care because you don't see that. So, well, for a Chinese watch, it's good. It's great value. Next up, I'm a real huge fan of the brand Parnas. They make a lot of these Swiss homage watches. For example, this is an homage of the IWC Portugieser, and it's a very nice looking. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Portugieser, like geezer. It's an old man. I don't know who the hell cares, but it has this. Ryan Gosling wore a similar one in the movie Drive. It's a very nice watch, classic looking. The dial just catches your eye. It's shiny, it has blue hands, blue indices, blue numbers on it. Comes with a seagull movement that's actually lower beat than this 19 euro Star King, as you can see. But it has the second hand is small subdial. It's a subdial. It also has a power reserve function. So if you wind it, and you can manually wind this watch, you can see the indicator going up. It has a 40-hour power reserve. It's a Chinese Seagull movement ST22. So it's very nice to look at, well decorated. It does have a advertised sapphire crystal here. I don't really know. I actually bought this piece used in my country for 60 euros, and I got this aftermarket bracelet as the band, leather band. Well, it fits the watch in my opinion. I like it. The blue fits the blue. It's a nice piece. So moving up or maybe sidewards, there's this new brand of Chinese watch. It's called Carnival. I actually have this one recently unboxed. It comes in a really nice box. All of these have no packaging to speak of, actually. This is like this one comes in a clear plastic bag like you have in your grocery store to put your bananas in. So this is like really basic packaging. Parnis also has a very basic packaging. I'll show you. It's like a cardboard box basically. So I didn't get the packaging with this one, but I'll show you different Parnis watches I own. So this brand Carnival, this one costs 50 euros. So it's a bit more expensive, but you can see where the money goes. It has a domed advertised sapphire crystal. I'm not sure if it's really a sapphire here. It might not be. And but you can see the dial is absolutely gorgeous. Why would you want to buy a Seiko that's a Seiko Presage that looks like this when you can buy this one for just 50 euros? Why pay Seiko, say 300 or 400 for a Presage when you can buy this amazing piece? It even has, it's a lower beat movement, as you can see. It's six ticks a second basically, while the Starking would be 8 beats a second. As you can see, it's a bit smoother. I don't know. It has a day of the week and the day of the month, of course. It has a very beautiful looking display back. Shows the Mayota movement in there. I'll peel this off. It's brand new. I absolutely adore this piece. But you can see it also looks to be 40 or 41 millimeters. If this is 40, this is probably 41, maybe. I don't know. But the dial is absolutely gorgeous. It's like, I don't know. It's minimalist, but it's nice. It's also pretty thin, as you can see for a mechanical watch. It's great. So this is like a side grade or a medium tier, I'd say. It cost me just 55 euros. I bought it. It's an excellent piece. Okay. Moving on. Well, Parnis has a lineup of different, like this one is 60 euros basically. I bought it used for 60 euros, but it costs new 60 euros also. I can also say these watches hold their value. I think on the used market, they cost pretty much the same as you would buy them straight from Aliexpress. They're just great. I don't know. Now, moving on, I have two different Parnis pieces. This one I had for over a year. It's Parnis Aquanaut, or Nautilus homage, Patek Philippe. This one cost me 90 euros, which is like 100. I don't know how much the Parnis the Patek Nautilus costs. I don't even want to know. It's house money, it's car money, it's whatever money, it's your family money. But you can get a very similar look with the submarine escape hatch here for a lot less. It has a screw down crown, as you can see. You can hand wind it, change the date, etc. It doesn't really sapphire crystal on the front for 90 euros. It also has this basic Myota movement inside, but it's basic, it's serviceable. It has this deployant clasp. I don't really like the bracelet on it. The finishing here doesn't match the finishing here. And the indices here are kind of, I don't really like this look precisely. It's not as stylish as the Nautilus, and you can get a similar like piece for, I don't know. There's the Peter Lee brand, etc. There are alternatives to this, but this is kind of its own thing. I like it. Now, and moving on, it's of a similar tier. I bought this for 75 euros. This here is the Parnas Yachtmaster. It's a Rolex homage. Has a bezel that rotates. It aligns quite well, but not perfectly. It has practically no loom to speak of. It's just there, but it's really, really, bad. It's practically no loom, really. No display back, but it has the like oyster kind of case, like Rolex, I think it's 40 millimeters or 41. This is supposedly a 2020 version. They improved several things. They made it so this is more comfortable. This has no sharp point when you put it on. It's just straight, and it doesn't bear on you too much. So it has a Cyclops. As you can see, you can see the date. You can also, it's a screw down crown, etc. It's a Myota movement. So this is a higher tier, I'd say, of Parnas. And in between the Parnas, I'd place this excellent Cardinal. I don't know. It has I just fill my collection with different types of watches. I'd like you to tell me what you think, if you like it, if you don't, and maybe you think these are a bunch of shitters, which you'll probably be right, but they are still amazing value, and I don't see a point in buying a more expensive watch, ever. Even if I had the money, I wouldn't. I would buy something more generative for me. So, thanks for watching, and see you in the comments.